Hey sports fans, this is the Rideshare Commando coming to you. Hi, how are you? Interesting people. So, I'm going to teach you a new driving tactic, and this is hunting. Now you've heard other people try to give little ideas of what it is, but here's the concept. When you hunt for, say, a deer, let's say you're trying to reenact the Bambi movie. That was a horrible joke. What you do is you end up going to a very specific spot and you sit there and you wait for the deer to come to you. Well, hunting is a tactic that people use, for example, boost areas or higher primetime areas. But there's a way to isolate the perfect time to be in the perfect place at all times. I'll give you a great example. Go into your Uber or Lyft app. Lyft is more accurate for non-peak times. Uber is more accurate for peak times. And on the top of every hour when you're driving, go to a major metropolitan area, scan out, and take a screenshot. Why do you do this? Because what you're doing is you're mapping out each hour of that day. Now, you're not going to be able to do this right the first week, alright? That's just how it is. But if every evening starting at 4:30 you need to be in, say, the center of Seattle over by the Paramount Theater, like that's the hot spot center hub of everything, and there's always a 1.5 or 1.6 times boost, well, that's where you need to be up until 6:30, because at 7 o'clock that boost is gone. What happened? There's no more boosts. But if you go to the Lyft app, then you'll see that there's a hot zone a little bit south of there. And you'll also see another hot zone about 10 miles south on the freeway. And that hot zone stays for both Uber and Lyft. There's a bunch of rides for the next hour. So knowing where to position yourself is just a matter of taking screenshots. But it also comes from experience. For example, I know for a fact that if in the morning I drive to the center of Auburn near a Walmart, I will get long rides. And they're usually through Lyft. They're going to be a Lyft line ride. I know that at night, if I sit around in the center of Kent, then I will get long rides from students going to Seattle to go back home, coming back from a party. This is from 9 p.m. onward. Or they want to go see their boyfriends or whatnot. I know for a fact that around 4 to 4:30, if I'm in that same area, I will end up taking somebody to Boeing, because there are a lot of Boeing employees that start at 5. So you kind of got to get to know your area. You're going to have to drive for a little bit to do hunting properly, because no hunter walks out into the middle of the woods and says, well, this is a good spot. It doesn't happen. You got to know where to hunt, and that takes experience. So start driving around your city and take a day or two without tactics. Just let it roll. And after about a day or two, you'll have a decent feel. But this has to be a long day or two. Okay, it pays to invest the time. So start at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then drive. Take a 2-hour break in between, probably between the hours of 2 and 4 p.m., and then start driving again until midnight. You only got to do this 2 days, but it's going to make a world of difference when it comes to, okay, this is how much we're getting, and so on and so forth. And I'm getting rides here, getting rides there. Hi, how are you? You're amazing. Yeah, this is how I respond to rude drivers that just... I was pulling in and then... Some people don't know how to drive. Short buses and helmets. But hunting is a tactic of positioning yourself in key areas. If I were to position myself by a mall, I guarantee I'll get somebody that was decently far away that works at that mall. Guarantee it. Or I'll get somebody visiting that mall, somebody that's a tourist or whatnot. So positioning yourself in certain key areas. Hospitals are a good one too. but I'm hesitant to say that because, I mean, hospitals, sick people, ugh, visiting family members, you know? But at the same time, people will go a long ways to visit somebody in the hospital. And you could also be that, if you're like me, I'm the bartender behind the wheel. I listen to people. I give advice. I do all that. So, if you're willing to do that for somebody that's, dealing with a crisis at the hospital, okay. Hang out at the hospitals. That's a very safe bet if you're going to hunt. And you're going to get long rides. Hospitals are like airports. The rides are almost always long. But I hope this helps. I mean, airports, that's kind of a given for hunting. That's almost like going to the fair and, hey, hunt for a fish. And then you have to scoop a fish out. Wow, you got a goldfish. Alright, cool. Like, that's the basic B of hunting. But hunting is, you do have to familiarize yourself with the market. And even if you're not driving, open up the app on the top of every hour and take a screenshot of certain areas. If there is a city area or if there's an area surrounding the mall, take a screenshot. And do a wide screenshot. Don't just zoom in like it would when you're regular driving. Zoom out a little bit because you want to get the entire area. You want to see, okay, is there a hot spot here and here? You got to know it. You got to really take your time because understanding your marketplace is the key to analysis. And once you analyze your marketplace, you can hunt properly, and you can start doing like I do. I make 35 an hour to 40, okay? These other guys that say, well, I made 1,200 this week. Yeah, you made 1,200 driving 60 hours? I mean, the guy, I did the math on how much he's made in that week. I mean, I've done the math on a lot of guys. And $25 an hour is the average that they make. You gotta work smart, you can't work hard. But otherwise you'll just work yourself to death and you'll destroy your car, blase blah, whoop-de-whoop, America. So, I hope you take my advice, I hope it reaches you, and be sure to subscribe down below, I'm gonna give you more.